knowing your numbers. So that's really, really key. Numbers tell a story, and people don't understand that. So we're going to be talking about that. Well, you know what? Let me back up because I should have did this. Let me introduce myself. For those of you that don't know me, I'll tell you who I am and why I'm actually sharing on this topic, because I get this question sometimes when people say, well, what makes you qualified to share this information or to teach on this? So let me just tell you quickly who I am. Definitely you can go to my website, FeliciaStreeter.com. Check Felicia Streeter. I've been in business for over 11 years now. And I started out actually in construction. Construction company that me and my husband built from the ground up, grueling. And we were able to build that from nothing. And you should go read my story on my page. I really share the story. But from nothing, and what happened, can you imagine two people in a business together making $23,000 for the year? Now, you know that's not a lot of money. And I had 3 teenagers and a baby. $23,000. We were poor. Can you say that with me? Poor. If you know what poor feels like, give me some hearts. If you know what poor feels like, not saying that you're poor now, but you felt it before, give me some hearts. So that's how we were. We were poor. But here's what we did. And this is what I'm sharing with you guys is I realized that in our business, all right, awesome. So we're going to take care of that. Check this out. So what happened is, $23,000, like, okay, we need to do something different here because this is not working. Baby needs some diapers and milk. You know what I'm saying? And it was Christmas time. Okay, so you're feeling me on that, right? All right, awesome. So what I realized is that we needed to have some strategies in place. And then we needed systems to back up those strategies. And so what I'm going to be sharing with you guys over the course of the week is how I actually broke that down. I can't share everything, of course, but I'm going to share as much as I can each day on the particular topic so that it will get you moving. All right. And so what happened is, and I don't think I said this yet. So what happened is we were at $23,000 for the year. 2 people. Yeah, poverty. And so what happened is after putting a strategy in place and then putting systems in place to back that, we were able to build some momentum, get consistent in our actions, and then we were able to create the cash flow as well as those big money paydays. So here's what happened. So in an 18-month period, lean in for this because this is going to be juicy. You're not going to believe this, and I don't want you to fall out your chair. So in an 18-month period, we took our company from $23,000 poverty to over $7 million. Yes. You don't believe me? Let me show you something. I was going through my files yesterday. Let me show you what I found in my files. I was cleaning out my files, and I have a media folder. Can you guys see that? See, it says media. Okay. This is what I found in my media folder, and I need to put this on my website. So you see it says construction zone. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's kind of hard to see, but it says construction zone. Have you ever heard of the National Association of Small Entrepreneurs? Or is it self-employed? I think this is National Association of Self-Employed. But you see it says construction zone. There's an article, full page. Who is that? That is me. You see me there? Yes, being featured in a magazine. Success, right? Talking about the success. Here's another one. This was the Dallas-Fort Worth Construction Newspaper. And here again, article at the bottom. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you can see that. So there's another article featuring us in our construction company. All right. And if you go to my website, hey, I see someone else join me. Welcome, welcome. And if you go to my website, you can see that I actually have some of the awards that we won as a company. Let me see, Small Business of the Year Award, and then Small Diversity Business of the Award. Mama, hi, Mama. All right. And so Small Diversity Business of the Year. Now, Small Diversity Business of the Year Award, we were on the list with Oprah. Everybody knows Oprah. And Magic Johnson. If you don't know Magic Johnson, if you're not a basketball fan like I am, welcome, welcome. He played with the LA Lakers. So we made the list, the Small Business Diversity Business of the Year list with the likes of Oprah Winfrey and Magic Johnson. So what I'm sharing with you, it works. It has been proven, and it works with my clients as well. So it's not a one-hitter quitter, and it only works for me. All right, so let's dive in. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. That's why I have the credibility. If you want to know educational-wise, let's see, I used to teach first and second grade, and I taught at the college level. So I'm able to put a plan in place. I'm able to put a learning strategy in place for you guys that actually work, right? Degree-wise, I talk a lot about numbers. Why? Because I have an associate's in accounting, and I know how important numbers are to your business. And holler if you can hear me if you know how important. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to have to try to catch that. Thank you. So send me that at the end. I'll go back and catch that. So that was, I didn't catch his name, but he shared me in a scope. So I appreciate that. But so what happened is, I lost track. I shouldn't read comment time while I'm scoping. Okay, so let's back up. Okay, so we know how important numbers are, right? You know how important numbers are because your numbers tell you how well you're doing in your business. Your numbers tell you whether you'll be able to pay your bills, right? All right, so give me some hearts if you're feeling that. So associates in accounting, bachelor's in management, MBA in strategic entrepreneur management. So there it is. That's why I'm doing what I do. That's why I have the credibility to do it. And I backed it up with some business successes. All right, so let's dive in because people want to know that. All right, so we're talking about how to plan to profit. And this is the step that most people skip. They don't actually put a plan in place to profit. It is important. Are you hearing me? It is important. So the first thing you must do is you need to know your numbers, which we're going to cover that tomorrow and break it down. We break everything down. Then we're going to talk about revenue projections this week. And you're actually going to create yours either on the call while we're here live on the video, or you'll do it afterwards. We're going to talk about calculating your conversion rates. And I've shared this one before, and here's what happens. Some people are like, wow. Some people, it's an eye-opener for them. Others, it's actually scary. And you know why? Because they don't realize the amount of people they have to touch, the amount of people that they actually have to talk to in order for the actual numbers to work, for them to hit their goals. So you definitely don't want to miss that day, all right? And then we're also going to talk about finding your missing piece, because your missing piece for you hitting your goals may be different than someone else. Thank you. I appreciate those hearts. Awesome. So let's talk about this. So here's what you need as an overall, as you're planning for 2016. And this is the same steps that I take people through in my programs, all right? One, you need to know what your mission and vision is, okay? Why are you doing what you do? What's your big why? Are you starting a movement? What does that look like for you? And what is your vision? Where do you want your business to be at the end of 2016? And ask yourself this question. If we were to meet, you and me, right? You and me, 12 months from now, how much money would you need to make to say that you're comfortable with where you are, right? You're happy in the place of your business, and you've achieved the goals that you wanted to. What does that number have to be for you? Do you know? Figure that out. That's really, really key, because that'll give you a direction of where you're trying to go, all right? Then you need to look at how will you achieve those goals. And we're breaking this down over this week. Remember that. What are you offering? What are your prices? How often are you going to offer it? What's your conversion rates? Revenue projections, right? Every time you offer something, every time you open your mouth and you give someone the opportunity to work with you, you need to know what those numbers are, like down to the T. Like if I was to ask you, and I don't remember your names, but if I was to say, what's your conversion rate? How many people do you need to talk to in order to make a sale? Do you know? Huh? Do you know? Okay, because you need to know. Because when we're planning, and I'm going to talk about this in a moment, but when we're breaking it down, your goals over a period of time, you know, we plan for 12 months, right? How do we come up with projections? Okay, we're going to talk about that. Give me 1 second. If I forget, put it back up, okay? So we're going to look at your 12-month goal, right? All the numbers involved. What does that look like? Then we have to back it up and do a 6-month, right? Because we can't just go for the 12 months. We got to break it down in smaller steps so that you guys are able to take action. Because a lot of times 12 months is scary. So what are the 6 months? Then we break it down to 60 days. the goals and the actions you need to take. Then we even back it up further and break it down to weekly actions you need to take. Your weekly goals. What are those numbers you need to hit every week? And then we break it down to daily. This is where most people fall off, is at the weekly and the daily. They know how to create that big picture plan, but they don't know how to back into it and break it down into small steps. You feel me? And this is what I'm talking about when people are on a daily basis working in their business and they're guessing, what should I do today? Maybe I'll do social media today. And then tomorrow they're like, what should I do today? Maybe I'll go out networking today. And it's every day is something different. Nothing is consistent and they don't tie in together. And that's where a strategy and a plan comes in place to make that happen. Then we're going to also look at filling in some gaps. Most people have gaps. You feel me on that? I appreciate those hearts. So we're going to fill those in with lead measures and lag measures. And it'll take me a minute to break that down, but if you stay with me all week, I'm going to break it down for you. I promise you that. And you can always go watch the replays, all right? And then lastly, we're going to talk about marketing strategies. The marketing strategies that you're going to take, you'll be able to insert those into your weekly and daily actions, okay? So, you got that? You followed me? All right, I know it's a lot. So here's what I want you to do tonight. And before we join back up here tomorrow, because I hope you're going to come back, I want you to set your goals for 2016. All right, mama. All right, cool. I'd love to have you. So I want you to set your goals for 2016. And as you're setting your goals, I want you to make sure they are SMART goals. And a few weeks ago, if you go to my YouTube page, look under Periscope videos, I actually did a training on SMART goals and actually how to actually break them down, how to do the test to make sure your goals are actually SMART goals. Let me break it down real quickly what the SMART acronym stands for. All right. So we're talking about setting your goals. We're talking about SMART goals. It has to be specific, has to be measurable, has to be actionable. You got to take action. Has to be realistic. So what am I saying realistic? You can't be making $10,000 a month or a year, a month maybe. But say you're making I don't know, $5,000 a month. So you're making about $60,000 a year. Your goal, if you were to say, next year I want to make $1 million, that's not realistic for most people. Yes, I did it in my business. We went from 23,000 to over 7 million, but we were playing in a different arena where the possibility of getting $1 million contracts, $5 million contracts, even $12 million contracts, I believe was the highest one that we got. But you have to see what's available, right? What the market, your industry charges and things like that. So saying you want to go from, $60,000 to $1 million may not be realistic for you. Okay. So they have to be realistic. And then you have to have a time frame attached to it. So as you set your goals tonight, make sure they are SMART goals. All right. And so here's what I'm going to do. Actually, you're going to receive a template so that you can keep track of all that we're sharing and write down those key points. And so I'm going to give you, yes, realistic goals. Thank you. And so I'm going to give you a template that you can use throughout the week because I know everybody likes templates. I like templates, right? All right. So you're going to get that. And I'll tell you how to get that tomorrow. And then you're saying, but I already know this. Sometimes people, they look at things and they're like, yeah, but I already know that. But my question is, yeah, but are you doing it? Do you actually have a plan? Did you have a plan for 2014 that you actually followed for the entire year? Question number 1. Question number 2, did you reach your goals? Question number 2. And if you didn't, why not? What was the problem? What do you need to change? That's what a plan will do for you. Okay? And then, I'm going to go beyond even what you already know. I'm going to give you the sequence of how to figure out your strategy and your plan. Because it's a strategy behind it. It's more than just theory. I'm going to tell you actually what works in order to get you to your goals. Okay, so I'm going to share what works. And here's what we're going to do. So still come back here to Periscope tomorrow. We're going to be sharing tomorrow. What are we sharing? Knowing your numbers. So we're going to break down some numbers tomorrow so that we can plan for 2016. Wishing you guys a wonderful evening. Have some